Hello and welcome to the first episode of Monocle on Fashion, a brand new show on Monocle Radio dedicated to the inner workings of the fashion industry. Expect exclusive interviews with influential CEOs and creative directors, musings on style and craft, and tours of best-in-class retail around the world. We want to take you inside both designers' ateliers and luxury houses' boardrooms, and in true Monocle fashion, bring a global perspective to the conversation, uncovering untold stories, and of course having fun along the way. I'm Natalie Theodosi, Monocle's fashion director and your host for this new show. For our debut episode, we had to start by tackling one of the biggest news stories in fashion and retail, which broke this month after almost a year of speculation: the acquisition of the Yoox Net-a-Porter Group, or YNAP, by Mytheresa, the Munich-based e-tailer. The evolution of luxury fashion e-commerce is an interesting one. As a much younger reporter over a decade ago, I used to write about the sector's explosive growth. Billion-dollar valuations, global audiences, speedy deliveries, and exclusive partnerships with the best brands in the world, from Chanel fine jewelry to Cartier watches and one-of-a-kind Saint Laurent catwalk items. But in the last year, we've seen digital pioneers, including Farfetch, Matches Fashion, and Yoox Net-a-Porter, make huge losses and struggle to stay afloat, or in the case of Matches Fashion, declare bankruptcy. Mytheresa has been the clear outlier, maintaining strong sales figures even when the luxury market has been showing signs of a slowdown, boasting a global network of high-net-worth clients and bringing them together at incredible events around the world. Now, the company has also acquired its biggest competitor. Last week in Paris, I got to ask its CEO, Michael Kliger, the question on everyone's lips: how does he do it? In his first sit-down since the news broke, Kliger shares some of the ingredients of his success recipe. He tells us why it made sense to write the $555 million check to acquire YNAP, and hints at what's next on his very busy agenda. Kliger speaks refreshingly straight and tells me about the importance of maintaining a healthy balance sheet and investing when the market is down. He talks about the importance of maintaining a clear point of view rather than trying to be everything for everyone, and creating magic for the customer. Let's hear directly from Michael Kliger, Mytheresa CEO. So, I have to welcome you officially to our Paris bureau and to the launch of Monocle on Fashion. I couldn't imagine someone better to do this with and to welcome on the show as interview number one. You've been, I think, one of the most on-demand men in fashion at the moment and had some very big news. So can I start by asking you about that and what the last week has been like?
Well, first of all, thank you for making me the number one guest on your show. It's a big honor. Thank you very much. I don't know whether I was the most in-demand person, but it was a busy week. As you know, we announced that we have an agreement with Richemont to buy Yoox Net-a-Porter, and obviously that is, in the world of fashion and online luxury fashion, of course, it's big news outside. Not many people care, but in our world, it is a big newsworthy item, and it's a big step also for Mytheresa.
And why was it the right step? And why did you think that it was the right next step for the company, which has been growing so much?
I mean, effectively, there are like 4 reasons why we feel this is the right thing to do. I mean, number one, the market. We have gone through some slower demand, tougher markets, and it's probably still take a bit. But we feel we have seen the worst. We have seen some competitors of ours exit the market. We feel also because our numbers since January have really improved. I mean, we are growing again, we are profitable again. So we felt this is a great opportunity in a market that for us will recover. For us, we will have upside. So you usually should buy when markets are depressed. Don't buy on the high. It's very difficult to make money. And then I think Net-a-Porter, Mr. Porter are in principle very similar to us in strategy and approach. It's about curation, it's about inspiration. So it's fascinating to form a group that is really built on the basis of inspiration and curation. Obviously, different ways of curation. I mean, the whole point of curation is you have a point of view, and therefore, if you have different point of view, then you speak to different customers. And the brands, the Net-a-Porter brand, the Mr. Porter brand, the Yoox brand are still very powerful. I mean, you have lots of customers that know them, lots of customers that like them. So,
and like you said, it's been a tough market, but you've been the outlier in a way. Either you continue to grow or you stayed quite steady. What would you account that success to?
Many different parts, of course, have to work to be successful in tough times. But I think the number one is we have defined who our customer is, and we continue to focus on that one customer. And that one customer is a big spending wardrobe builder, so they look for inspiration, they look for curation. We take curation very strict. We have a very strict edit of products. And the good thing about it, if you have a strong point of view, I think that keeps you also in tough times very strong. I believe when things are booming, everyone sort of can make money. And everything was okay. Yeah, I like it. It's nice. But in times where people think twice before they spend, nice is not enough. I mean, you have to be very precise. You have a strong point of view. You have to have a good reason why the customer should buy. And so strong storytelling. And obviously, I'm telling things to someone like you at Monocle that follows exactly that principle of having a strong point of view, of focusing on your customers / readers. It sounds simple, but it's tough to be really onto your customers, and that is paying off. And that's why you're right. We are an outlier. We are growing. We make money, and we are very proud of that.
And another ingredient of your success, I think, having been to many of the events that you host all around the world, is that you go the extra mile to meet these customers that you're talking about offline. How important is that as a digital-first company to meet people in the real world and make sure that you're taking care of them?
It's very important, and it has become even more important. We try to create relationships with our customers. We do not just want a great place to buy, which, I mean, that's also something good, but it's very transactional. And if you want to have even stronger, deeper, better relationships, just a transactional relationship is not good enough. You need to have everything in place. I mean, you need to be precise in shipping and delivering. You need to have the right products. But then we want to go beyond, and our customers love the efficiency and the convenience of online. That's why they buy luxury online. And a lot of our customers are very busy and don't have time. But all our top customers have personal shoppers. They all have a person that represents Mytheresa. They have their Andrew or their Suzanne that is their contact person. And therefore, we try to have at least once a year a real close interaction with our best customers. Because if during the year you WhatsApp, you message, you email, that's great, and that's also what our customers want. But it's so much better if we come together for 1 to 2 days. And also our customers like to meet other customers. There is this community aspect. And so we have moved from now to really try to build a community for luxury enthusiasts. That's what we try to be. And therefore meeting people where they are. So it's not come here, We go to Aspen, we go to the Hamptons, we go to Paris, we go to Amalfi Coast, because that's where our customers are. And then we try to create experiences that they cannot have themselves. That's, of course, a big task for customers like ours, to give them or show them something that they don't have at their own disposal. But that's where our partners, our friends in the world of fashion help. So we can bring people to the archives of Valentino Garavani, which is not open to the public. Or we are today in Paris, and we had 10 of our customers with first access ticket to Art Basel this morning. Then they come, because if, as I said, our customers love to shop because it saves time. So if I say, can you give me 2 days of your precious time? They ask why, what? And if you have something special, they will give you those 2 days. And that's actually the most expensive thing. Time is the most expensive thing to our customers.
And it means you have fun along the way, right? I'm still dreaming about the dinner I had with your team and Dries van Noten at Axel Verwoerd's house in Antwerp. And it's, again, what you were speaking about, right? Experiences that really money can buy. And you give people that kind of access, and you forge real connections.
Yeah, and you feel the energy. The best thing in these dinners is when the last course, last coffee is served, and people still sit. Then you know you had a good evening. You managed to really bring people together.
Why is it important for you to be here at this time of year? I mean, you're always here during Paris Fashion Week, but increasingly looking at the art fairs as well. Why is Art Basel specifically something relevant to you?
I think the world of fashion and all types of arts have always met and mixed up. I mean, there's so many famous creative directors that started movie making. It's a craft and an art, and many of them are art collectors. I mean, you mentioned Dries van Noten, who is a collector of fabrics and art. And then, of course, also the crowds start and more start to mix. Not everyone that collects art is a fashion lover, and vice versa, but there's more and more overlap. And I think the reason for that is that fashion and art are part of the same cultural fabric. I think this is really the link between this and music is culture. And fashion is a cultural statement, what you wear. And yes, there are people that buy art just for themselves, but most people buy art to share with friends. And that's why so many collectors are keen to have their pieces in museums. And so I think the cultural aspect is what keeps it all together. And again, what I said before, we want to be with our customers when and where they are. And Art Basel today here in Paris, I mean, there were queues outside as always, and we managed to sneak in right after Macron, and it was within 15 minutes. The whole Grand Palais was full. It's amazing.
And have you noticed that your customers, this is the way they're shopping? They might be in Paris looking at art, but they're also messaging their Mytheresa personal shopper. Is there a lot more overlap in shopping habits as well?
I mean, the need for fashion comes with occasions, with meeting people. Again, there are some people that buy fashion to wear at home, but most people buy fashion because they go to a party, they go to a family affair, they go to a company affair. And though Art Basel is everything that happens at Grand Palais, but everything that happens afterwards, in the evening, all those dinners, all those cocktails, and therefore Art Basel is also creating a fashion need.
We're speaking about relationship with the customer, which are, of course, top of the agenda. But I think relationship with brands is also very important, and you've been able to nurture them at a time when a lot of brands have stopped working with wholesale. Tell me about how you've been able to maintain these relationships.
I would say there are two elements which I believe we're doing well. One is we are truly respectful of the brands, of the maisons, because to create a fashion brand, a fashion house, takes so much effort and money. So it is no surprise that fashion houses or maisons are very protective. Allowing someone else to have that brand in their store, in their website, is a big risk. And they want to be sure that the brand is treated well, because everything they created, everything emotionally that they have put into the brand can be destroyed if a partner is not fully respectful of that. And I think we earned the reputation to do that. I mean, no one believes that we do something harmful, but as simple as the right photo, the right imagery, the right model, the right styling. I mean, all of that comes back to, can the brands trust us? And the second element in this brand relationship is that we can really bring something on top, because the big debate that brands have, why should we work with someone else to sell our products? And it's a fair question. If they sell the product with someone else, they share the profit. And so our clear case is that we bring customers that would not have bought this product, because our customers are very much occasion-driven. And so most customers that come to Mytheresa say, oh, I need a dress, or I need a clutch, or I need some nice sandals for the holiday. They are not coming to the site because they say, oh, I need a Dior bag, or I need sandals from Valentino. And therefore, we inspire, we make people buy something. And therefore, we don't steal customers from the brands. We bring customers to the brands. And we are also have very much a mindset to share. I mean, when we do these events with the brands, they're customers for everyone, because we feel very comfortable that we have strong relationships. So respectful of the brand and really bringing something to the party and not just stealing business, so to speak.
And given that it is Art and Design Week here in Paris, I think another big conversation is that a lot of these brands want access into the worlds of art and design. They're doing a lot more partnerships. I mean, Miu Miu earlier this week has opened a big public exhibition and is one of the biggest sponsors of Art Basel Paris. From your perspective and your experience working with these brands, why now is there such a big push for these worlds to cross over and for the fashion houses to be so much more visible during art fairs, during design weeks?
I think it comes back to what I said before. It's about being part of a culture. I mean, if you think about a Miu Miu, yes, you can think about the clothes and the designs, and they're very good at the moment, very popular. But you also think of Fondazione, and the brands want to be part of it's a bit of overused word, but want to be part of that lifestyle. So that's why Loro Piana and Prada race each other in sailboats. That's why LVMH is sponsoring, a big sponsor of Art Basel, while they Kering has this François-Henri Pinault has this amazing museum. And I think they want to be part of the cultural world of their clients, because that makes them also a deeper source of inspiration beyond clothes. And I mean, obviously, when you look at LV is such a strong part of the US American pop culture. First with Virgil, now with Pharrell. You see who is attending the shows of LV. So they are part of this culture. And then you have totally different cultures. Brunello, or a better example, yesterday we had a big event with Tod's. And Tod's or Diego Della Valle himself is very focused on culture. The amount of support he gave to the Colosseum, he gave to the La Scala. So he believes strongly that Tod's must be part of the Italian lifestyle, Italian culture, and that's actually what people buy when they buy Tod's. It's part of the Italian lifestyle, part of the Italian culture.
Yeah, I mean, some of these houses almost go as far as to say that now they don't see themselves as fashion brands or fashion house, but as cultural houses.
Correct, yes.
Do you think that makes them more relevant to you and your customers as well when they are so active in other parts of culture?
Definitely, if it works, yes. I mean, the one thing you want to be, and then the other thing is you are. But one of many but very good example is what Johnson Anderson has done as Loewe. I mean, he has created out of a luxurious leather brands a cultural institution with so many aspects from music, from pop culture, he did this amazing exhibition last year in Shanghai, which had totally different rooms, reminding of what's the connection between Paula's Ibiza, his very artistic runway shows, the manga collections he has put out. So he taps into so many different cultural affairs. So I think when it works, Loewe is much more than a luxurious fashion brand for those people that buy it.
And even if we think about that end transaction and selling product, which at the end of the day, that's what companies like yours and the brands themselves, that's the end goal. It helps move product as well when you are participating in culture in a more genuine way and doing those collaborations and events and community building, even if there's no direct return.
No, we are a company. We want to make revenues. We want to make profits, and there's nothing wrong about it. I think what we clearly believe is you don't plan to make money. You do extraordinary things for your customers. You are relevant for your customers. You create joy for your customers. And you know what? If you do that well, you will make money. It's really important to keep the orders correct. First, start with the customer, and can you bring something to them? And I'm really focused on emotional benefits because that's our business. And so, yes, inviting them to Art Basel, do I expect that they buy now this evening? Of course not. But creating a relationship, bringing us with them together with other customers. And I've seen it, I know it. If we are relevant and emotional with the people that join us today, it will bring revenue and I don't even have to worry about that part. I have to worry about the first part, that they really feel appreciated, they really have joy, they really have fun. Then if we get this right, the rest comes.
And for you personally, I think understanding the culture of the brands, following them so closely, I think you're one of the few CEOs that I see very regularly on the front rows of shows and following the journey of each brand. Does that give you like a much better grip about what's happening in the industry, who you need to be talking to, who you need to be partnering with?
You're absolutely right. I enjoy the shows, but actually it's a lot of hours you spend.
Absolutely.
But going to a show, particularly when there's a new designer, it is, you get it. If it's done well, you get it. You know what are they trying to do. You get the vibe. You see the guests. You understand the mood. After each show, there's applause, but you feel, is it the courteous applause or is it the heartfelt applause? And these are all, for me, super helpful bits of information, super helpful feelings, so that when next time we talk business, I have that context. So I find it enormously enriching.
Yeah, so there's value in being on the road, waiting for the shows to start, meeting people in person. I think a lot of that has gone, but it's great that you're out there and finding value in that.
We are people business. We are people business in terms of customers. We are people business in terms of the relationships we have with brands. It's still an industry where you have a relationship with the other part and not a contract. And if you regard it as a people business, don't sit at home at your desk. You won't succeed.
And we should talk about Mytheresa's growth as well. Women's wear is a core of your business, but last time we spoke, you were launching life and lifestyle objects. Men is also a big part of the business now and growing. Where is your focus now, and where do you see more potential coming into the new year? And you said also a market that is going to grow stronger.
Yeah, we are optimistic. Maybe that's also an outlier at the moment, but we do believe next year will be better than this year. And already this year is better than last year. We have still enormous opportunities. So over the last 12 months, the market in North America has grown tremendously for us. We still have customers that discover us for the first time that didn't know Mytheresa existed. We have entered new categories and we will continue to enter into new categories. But again, with the logic, how can we become even more relevant to our customers? It's not, oh, if we do this, another 50 million revenue, but where else can curation and inspiration be of dramatic relevance to our customers? That was the whole idea about life, because the life category, tabletop and decorative objects, and I mean, that's even more difficult for customers to know, what do I like? I need a vase. I can't even describe you. Show me some, and then I tell you this one I like. And therefore, this curation inspiration, we do expand at the moment our offer in fine jewelry. That's also a trend that customers told us and showed us in numbers. And anything that is part of that luxurious lifestyle. And also, I mean, you can have a look at what the big houses do, what LVMH does, what Kering does. I mean, you can see there's much more. I mean, they've gone very strong in watches and fine jewelry. Then there are in spirits, there are in recreation, in restaurants. That's all one part of the culture. Don't expect a Mytheresa restaurant, but I'm just...
That was going to be my next question.
But I'm just saying this is all part, but maybe some point we will have a Mytheresa coffee. Who knows? But again, it's not us deciding, the customer decides. I mean, if they don't think it's a good idea, we won't succeed.
And with Mytheresa Men growing so fast, have you noticed that your men's and women's wear customers are behaving quite differently? Have you had to adjust your approach, or is it quite uniform across the two sides of the business?
Menswear has been really, really exciting journey for us. I mean, we started rather late compared to some of our competitors to also offer ready-to-wear, and we were absolutely fixated on creating a proper menswear business. And I'm very proud not only that it's growing, that it has a significant part of our total revenue, but 80% of the orders, 80% of the items bought are bought by customers that only buy menswear. So we have customers that know Mytheresa only because of its menswear. They don't buy anything else. And so for them, we are the website, the platform to buy menswear. And so that's, I think, a big accomplishment that we have that part. Then menswear has an interesting journey, I think even more so than women's wear over the last couple of years, because when we had the post-COVID boom, we saw a lot of men buying into luxury that did not buy before, and a lot of menswear in accessory was highly successful. Not only the expensive sneakers, but also a lot of bells and sneakers, and the boom in men's was stronger than in women's in terms of suddenly 25-year-old men buying luxury products. And at the same time, the slower market also showed stronger in men. And so at the moment, you have a menswear business that is still very strong in the sort of, we call it timeless area, in the area of the Brunello, Loro Piana. Those customers spend, but in a very sort of traditional, at least from the ready-to-wear side. Sneakers, it's still a strong sector, but it's the very sleek, white, straight sneakers that are very successful. I mean, no more chunky, colorful ones.
Thank God, no?
Anything goes. Anything goes.
Customer decides. No, you're right.
Customer decides. We don't tell customers what to wear or not, but I don't have chunky sneakers if you want to know. And loafers. Loafers have the biggest growth in shoes at the moment. I mean, sneakers are still bigger. And so there has been, it's more cyclical, and there's bigger swings in men's than in women's over the last 4 years. And therefore, it is very different from women's wear. And and this fulfills every stereotype that you have. Women buy warm clothes already in September. Men realize in December it's cold. So it's always, they are not before, they're in the moment. And when they buy a lot.
Speaking of Mytheresa as an outlier, which has been, I think, a common theme in the conversation, I wanted to ask you about your physical boutiques in Munich, because, of course, that's the origins of the company, but given the growth in the evolution that you had, now it became a very small part of the business. Then again, you opened a second shop, again in Munich, for Mytheresa Men. Tell me about the decision. You have such a fast-growing, big business online, but you decide to still invest in a physical boutique in your home city.
You're absolutely right. I mean, our by far largest part is now online, but we always had this boutique. The boutique is making money, so it's not a marketing gimmick, but it is our origin. And it also, at heart, we don't see ourselves as a tech company or a fashion company per se. We are a retailer. We are actually a boutique, now mostly an online boutique. So having this boutique in Munich has always been very important for the culture and the DNA for our company. And when we decided to go with menswear online, we said we need a menswear boutique. We need that credibility and that understanding. And this is not about the numbers. It's not about how much revenue the menswear boutique makes. It's a nice business. But it's about our mindset that we want to serve men that have passion for fashion. And interesting enough, this is also how many brands still view it. So for many menswear brands, it's very important that we also have a menswear boutique, particularly for those menswear brands that only do menswear, that are not dual gender. And so having a menswear boutique is, what's the best word? It's credibility.
And looking ahead, what are you most excited about for the new year? Post-wine-up news, a lot going on. What are some of the brands that you're looking to work with more closely? Any clues you can give us about where next you're going in the world?
I mean, we announced Wine-Up. The most exciting part is if it's approved next year and we can start working with the people at Net-a-Porter, at Mr. Porter, at Yoox and the Outlet. I mean, our hope, we think it will happen March, April. And then this is the most exciting part for next year, to join up with these super brands, do some hard work in the back end. So that will be a big part of what we do and what I personally will do next year. And then on the Mytheresa side, we already have some cool projects in the making. Great activations, also great physical activations, so that will be fun and will allow me maybe to also get away a bit of the hard work for bringing together Mytheresa, Net-a-Porter, Mr. Porter. But again, 25 will be better than 24. That's what I say here today on this podcast, and people can check on that.
I think that's a great note to end on. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That was a real pleasure. Thank you.
That was Michael Kliger, CEO of Mytheresa. And that's all for today's show, our very first episode for Monocle on Fashion. Make sure you subscribe. We have more big interviews and exclusive insights into the world of fashion planned for the rest of the year. Our first season is brought to you by our friends at Mytheresa Men, the global retailer offering the finest edit in luxury. Today's episode was produced and edited by Steph Chungu. I'm Natalie Theodosi. Thank you for listening.